Welcome back to my channel, fellow enchanters, and OMG, probably the most epic video I've filmed to date since I started my channel in January. This is going to be an epic video. Nothing like this has ever been seen before on YouTube, so I mean, you're welcome. What we have for you today is, in my experience, the top 20 most expensive Disney Jim Shore pieces ever made. Now, just a disclaimer, it is my personal opinion and experience with collecting these in the last 16 years and seeing what the prices have been trending on the secondary market. I'm a part of some of the most popular Facebook groups, which I'm going to link some below in the description box, some of my favorite Facebook groups where you can find these maybe in the secondary market. And the Disney community is just absolutely out of this world. They are so supportive and they are so committed to supporting you and finding your grail piece. For many of you, or for some of you, maybe all 20 of these pieces are still grail pieces that you get to have in your collection. I can't wait to dive in. I mean, some of these pieces are some of my all-time favorite, but before we even continue with the video, fair warning, this will be a lengthy video because we're going to go into specific details. Now, as you all know, I like going into details with capsule collections, like basically like collections like I'll do the entire Aladdin series, etc. My next video is going to be all of the Cinderella pieces. Oh, so excited about that video. It was requested and this video was requested. So y'all comment below what you want to see, and I produce. Before we continue, as always, I upload content every Monday and Thursday. So Mondays are going to be collectibles, and on Thursdays are normally Pokemon unpackings. So go ahead while you're at it. You don't want to miss out every Monday when I come to y'all and I upload a video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. It supports me in creating more content. And don't forget to hit that bell to be notified every time I come live to you live. I say this every time. Every time I upload content on YouTube on Mondays and Thursdays. So without further ado, let's dive in. So many of you who are meeting me for the first time, hi, how are ya? I'm JP, Jean-Pierre. And I've been collecting Disney Jim Shore for the last 16 years. I am the OG collector. In a lot of our Jim Shore groups, I like to say I'm recognized for my extensive collection. And I am one of 3 people that I know in the whole world that own nearly every single Disney Jim Shore piece ever made. I'm only missing 15 pieces. I personally don't go into details with the 15 pieces I am missing because when I do say what the pieces are, the value will go up and more people will want it. So unfortunately, I don't discuss that. And one of the top 20 pieces, the most expensive pieces, honestly, I don't have. So that sucks. And I hope one day I will get it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. So we're going to dive into I would like to say this was the first ever Aladdin piece. This and the Genie came out. And it is by far in my top 10 most favorite idolized pieces. It is a whole new world. It is Aladdin and Jasmine on the magic carpet. And if you zoom in, it is just absolutely gorgeous, this piece. It is just beautiful. They are up on a cloud. Their facial expression is just impeccable. It's exactly how it is in the movie. And what I love about this piece is that in the dark, it has this beautiful light up feature. It also is a musical chime. Here I am forgetting. And as you can see, there's a light up LED light. And it is, again, it's just an absolutely magical piece. You can't appreciate this piece in the light, but I am going to show you what it looks like with the lights off. You can't really experience it that much, but we're just going to bring this closer because this is one piece I do have to just bring in closer. It is just beautiful. This piece is worth well over $1,000. It is smaller in size, but I mean, it packs a huge punch. Um, it is just absolutely breathtaking. I don't remember the year it came out in. Normally, when I do my Aladdin capsule collection, I'll remember that and I'll do my research. We haven't done that capsule collection yet. But again, one of the most just magical pieces ever made from Jim Shore. I honestly would say he does not make pieces like this anymore. The detail, the aesthetic, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Again, this piece is going to cost you, I've seen it about, right currently I've seen it for 800 plus. Good luck is what I will say, because this is not a piece you come around at all easily. I see one of these go up a year on eBay. Like maybe one will go up on sale on eBay, and again the retail value is like $800. So again, and the name of this piece is Magic Carpet Ride. Absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna set this aside. Our next piece, now I have a few other pieces. I have 5 other pieces I have to bring up, but they're so big and or they don't fit here, so we're going to be taking stuff out. The next piece is another holy grail for so many. And it is the first of its kind ever made because it is the only one, it's the only piece that isn't particularly from one storyline. It's various, and it's a made-up piece by Jim Shore. And it is the Disney Villains Castle Collection. It is absolutely beautiful. As you zoom in, the castle is 360, completely embellished. And you have various villains from various movies. You have Cruella, you have Captain Hook, you have Maleficent as the dragon, you have Ursula, you have TikTok from Peter Pan, the crocodile, you have Scar, you have I forget the tiger's name in the Jungle Book, you have the evil queen, Jafar, you see Iago there as well, and you also have Hades. So you have a ton of villains in this piece. It is absolutely beautiful. This was the last castle piece he ever made. So he had made 3 castle pieces, and then he made this villains castle piece, and then from there we never saw another castle piece. This was very limited in its run when he made this piece. And there have been rumors that he is actually going to be remaking this piece. So there will be a reissue of it. Typically the reissues have like some form of a variant to it so you could distinguish the original from the newer one. But it is happening. Also, the mirror on the wall is also on this piece. This was a first appearance for many characters. Like TikTok's first appearance, this was Scar's first appearance. It's the only appearance we've ever seen from the tiger from the Jungle Book. It was Jafar's first appearance, and I believe it was also Hades' first appearance before he was made as a single piece. Another cool feature about this is it has it lights up, so the castle does light up, and it does have like this wicked like laugh about it. It's random, but it does. And that's it. Now this is another piece that all the windows light up in purple, so especially in the back you experience it more. So it lights up in purple. There's a purple LED light in there. So there you have it. And that is, and again, the name of this piece is Tower of Fright. This piece right here, I've seen it in the secondary market, and every time I do see it, it either doesn't come in with a box or it's damaged. Typically, the horns from Maleficent's Dragon are damaged, or there's chips somewhere on this. Right now, I know on Mercari I've seen one on eBay recently, and they're selling for about $500, but they're damaged. One that comes in its original box in pristine condition it's going to run you close to about $1,000 as well. So another massive, massive piece. And for any of the pieces that you will see today, all these pieces do retail for, I like to say, close to 500 plus. All the pieces I will be featuring today. You may be lucky and find some of these for $400, but they all typically retail for 500 plus. So there you have it. Next in our series, while we're talking castles, we have not talked, we did talk about this castle, sorry, in my previous video, so we won't go into too much details, but some of you maybe haven't watched it. If you haven't watched my previous video, it has been the every single Disney Traditions Disney World exclusive piece, and we featured this one, and this is Disneyland's castle, also known as Sleeping Beauty's castle. Princess Aurora's castle. And so this piece right here retails anywhere for about $450 to $600 I've been seeing it for lately. It is a beautiful piece. Very, very, very much sought after. I featured this on my previous video, and it's another one. I say that this definitely goes in my top 20. And there were so many honorable mentions. I'm going to tell you, there is literally like 20 other pieces that I was like, ugh, I'm not going to make this video of the top 40 most expensive Jim Shore video figurines ever, but this is definitely an honorable mention. So absolutely stunning. And the name of this piece is True Love's Castle. Next, we are going to feature this beauty. And you're all going to see this in the next video. It's absolutely one, in my experience, it's the second most expensive Cinderella piece ever made. It is absolutely beautiful. The name of this piece is Cinderella's A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes. So this piece is both a light up piece, it lights up, and it has the musical chime. Now, as you know, I just twisted it, but you're like, where's the musical chime? We'll get there in a moment, because there's a hidden feature about this piece. What I love about this is when all the mice and the birds are creating Cinderella's piece for the dress for the ball. A little disappointed because I wish the mice were a little bit more accurate. Like, I wish this was Gus Gus. But I mean, it's another mouse, and we have another mouse there. What I love is there's a thin little thread that you see here. It's a real thread. It's a real piece of thread that they have go through the mouse's hands all the way through here. It is absolutely beautiful. You have real ribbon. So what I love about this piece is the mixed media. You don't necessarily see a lot of mixed media in a lot of his newer pieces. Again, the older pieces, they had this sorry about that. They had this like je ne sais quoi about them, and they were made so beautifully. Some of the newer pieces lately, because Jim Shore has been so commercialized, the quality is not the same. I'm going to be honest with you, because they produce so much more of them. Nowadays, you know, a lot of the newer pieces, it takes about 7 years before it may increase in some value. So, pieces like these, they didn't make much of at the time. So again, this is a beautiful, beautiful piece. A piece like this is going to cost you about $600 to $700 in the secondary market. But what I love more than anything about this piece is that it opens up. And when it opens up, you have Cinderella and Prince Charming dancing in the center. What I love about this piece is Prince Charming's his attire is also navy blue, and it does light up as well. There is a light up feature. I'm not sure if it works. Yeah, the battery doesn't work, but it does light up as well. It has an LED. The batteries I mean, this piece is so old that the batteries probably have to be replaced. But it's absolutely beautiful. And so there you have it. Again, this is an impeccable piece. It is incredibly sought after. It's a beautiful piece. And again, just everything about it, the detailing is just out of this world. Next we're just going to continue in with the castles. While we're at Cinderella, we've talked about this piece before, and we'll do it again real briefly. This, again, I featured in my every single piece ever made from Disney World, and this is considered to be the most expensive Disney World exclusive piece, meaning that you can only purchase this piece at the parks when it came out. This piece came out about 14 years ago. I believe it came out in 2008. It was exclusive to 2007, 2008. It was exclusive only to the parks. If you want to hear more about how I got this piece, you can go check that video out. You just check out all my playlists and you'll find it. It's every Disney exclusive park piece ever made. Checklist video. I forget the title of it, but it's something in that realm. And so this piece, again, is absolutely magnificent. This piece goes for the secondary market easily for $1,000, $1,200, $1,400. In a brand new box in pristine condition like this, you're going to pay $1,200 to $1,400 for a piece like this. You'll find a few of them that have a few little slight damages, like missing flags or certain tower pieces that are chipped off. But it is a beautiful, beautiful piece. Another good luck trying to allocate this piece. And there will be a new Disney Castle piece that comes out later this year that Jim Short is making, so I'm excited for that one too. Which will also be a park exclusive. Yay! Next. I forgot to put batteries in this one. The name of this piece is Belle and the Beast Enchanted Kingdom. Probably my favorite castle piece ever made. Incredibly rare. I think less than 1,000 of these were ever produced, if at that. It is an impeccable piece. What I love about this piece versus the other pieces, the other castle pieces, is you actually have a mini Beast and Belle dancing. It's absolutely stunning. Now it is an LED light up, so there's a LED under this dome and a blue LED that does shine right above them as they dance. It's a stunning, stunning piece. The castle is, you can see the castle once it's restored back to life in this beautiful, beautiful color. It is magnificent. This piece is, again, another incredibly rare piece. You're going to pay anywhere from $1,200 to about $1,400, similar to the castle, Cinderella's castle. It is, I like to say, like the top 5, top 4 most expensive pieces ever made, because it's become so difficult and people want to get these castles. And what's awesome is Jim is also making more castle pieces. So we're gonna have a master every year. He does like one master collection piece, which is typically a larger size piece, and it's gonna be Rapunzel's castle this year. So that's gonna be it's gonna be exciting. Typically those pieces are light up pieces, or they have like a musical piece. Or they are just incredibly large. So I'm excited. I don't know what special features that castle is going to have aside from it's her tower. It's Rapunzel's tower. So I'm really excited to experience it once it does come out. And yeah, so and now that piece is coming out and people want castle pieces, these pieces, the price, forget about it. A lot of new collectors who will own a masterpiece collection like that one are also going to be like, oh wait, has Jim ever, like if they're new to Jim Shore, or if you're watching this for the first time and you purchased that piece. By the way, that piece launches this summer in June. And what happens is many times new collectors are like, oh, this piece is gorgeous. They purchase it and they're like, now I want to own every single Jim Shore Castle collection piece. And they're unaware that there were only ever like 4 other castle pieces ever made. And these castle pieces, the price points are absurd. So there you have it. All right, so we're back, and you're hearing me with this musical wind chime, and you're like, what's happening here? This piece, I would like to go by and say it's probably the one of, if not the second, the most expensive Alice in Wonderland piece. It's called Alice Wind Chime. So before we go into the center, let's talk about this piece. There's a flower at the very bottom. You have the white rabbit. You have the wind chime. You may not be able to experience this, and then when I do my Alice video, you'll experience this piece more in depth. And then lastly, what we have here is Alice going down the rabbit hole. This piece is incredibly rare. I purchased this piece about 6 years ago. Got it on eBay and I purchased it for $120. I jumped on it. This is the only piece I own, well, one of 3 pieces that I own that I don't have the box to. For $120, I had to get it because you can never come around this piece. It is in pristine condition. It's never been used by the previous seller. There's not a single scratch on this piece, which I appreciate. The back of it is the tree bark and some rocks. And then down here is Alice and her cat, watching her go down the rabbit hole. Again, this piece, I've never seen it again. I remember I bought this 6 years ago on eBay, and I've never saw another one ever since. I know people that are still missing this piece in their collection and are willing to pay a whole lot for this piece. I would like to say minimum, this piece goes for at least $800 minimum. And I would even dare to say over 4 figures. It is such a beautiful piece. It's unconventional to many of his other pieces because this is part of the garden collection. But it is absolutely beautiful. And I had to feature it today. 3 of my pieces I'm featuring today are actually Alice pieces. So there you have it. Yay! Let's move on. So next we have Beauty and the Beast. And this is The Beast. The name of this piece is The Beast and the Prince. A Prince Transformed by Love. It's a long name. So when Jim first released many years ago, when his collection first came out, what I really appreciate about all his pieces is they had like a 360 view, and then you would get this dual feature. So on one end, this is the Beast, and this goes beautifully with the original Princess Belle. And as you turn him around the Beast, again, the Beast is incredibly detailed. You have him transformed as a prince. He's standing on this pedestal, as you can see right here. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. Even the details, because you see very little of the prince when he's transformed into the prince in the movie, but the features are absolutely impeccable. It is so on point. And again, you have the Beast. Again, I love featuring this piece, showcasing the Beast, because he is so massive. There's not a single detail that's missing from his feet, his arms, his mass, his chest, everything. It is a beautiful piece. This piece right here, I've seen, if you're lucky, you may get it for about $400, but I see it close to about $550 recently. I've been seeing it sell for. It is incredibly rare to come across. I'd like to say that I see one of these go on sale in the secondary market at least once every 4 months, so maybe like 3 times a year, versus some pieces I don't even see ever show up. It takes like 3 years before I see them show up, or once a year. So there you have it. If you see this and it's roughly around that price, someone's going to jump on it. Someone who's an avid collector, the second they see it, they won't think twice to pay that amount for this. So beautiful piece. And there you have it. I'm not discussing the price points of these pieces when they first came out. I usually do that when I do the capsule collection. Next we have Another Garden Alice in Wonderland piece. Now, some may argue and say this piece isn't deserving of being in this top 20. I absolutely do think it is. Now, this piece you can find, I've seen recently sell for $350, and like I said, all my pieces here are about $500 or plus. This has to be maybe the most inexpensive, but honestly, it is a very difficult piece to come across. It's the Cheshire Cat Birdhouse. So this is an actual birdhouse garden piece. That's what it's called, Cheshire Cat Birdhouse. His mouth is the entranceway into the birdhouse. And this is all hollow from here to here. The piece is hollow, so birds can create their nest outside. It is specially coated to be protected by UV light damage, but again, it will discolor, and with rain, it will discolor regardless. You would be damn near delusional if you actually kept this outside in your garden, because these pieces are worth so much money, and they're meant to be kept indoors. It is a stunning piece. The color story on this piece is like none other. I absolutely love this piece. And we'll discuss it once I do my Alice video. But it is a beautiful, beautiful piece, and I had to have it here in my top 20. All right. So while we're at it, we're at the garden piece. Next piece in our collection, many will say is the most expensive Alice in Wonderland piece. It's either between this one or the Alice wind chime. Now that Alice wind chime, there will be a lot of comments in the section of many of you seeing that piece for the very first time. Very few people have ever seen that piece. It's incredibly limited in its run, and even at the time when it was like from 2000, I believe that piece was released around 2009 or 2010 to like 2014. That piece, it was difficult to purchase it on the secondary market. It would go for like $100, $150, $200, and then it just stopped showing up on the secondary market. It's incredibly rare. And many people who don't know that piece will say that this for sure is the most expensive piece in the entire Alice in Wonderland series. But I would say it's debatable. This piece just recently, I think it's currently up. I saw it somewhere. It was like a week or 2 weeks ago. Someone was selling it for $800. I'm not sure if that was a starting bid. You could check eBay. And the name of this piece is White Rabbit Statue. Let me tell you, I got this for a steal. When this first launched, this piece, it retailed for $100, I believe. $120, $125. I purchased this piece on eBay, I'd like to say in 2015. I purchased it on eBay in the secondary market in its original box. The thermostat, it actually is the first time ever he's made a real thermostat piece as well. It is a garden piece. This piece I purchased for about $155. And it literally went up, and I'm not sure if the seller was completely just oblivious to the value of this. And within seconds, put it in my cart, checked out, and it arrived within a week in pristine condition. It's in its original box. It is one of my grails. So many people want this piece. Alice pieces are so popular, but especially White Rabbit pieces. It's the first time the White Rabbit has ever been featured, and the only other time the White Rabbit was featured was in the chime, the wind chime we just did. And I think he may be somewhere else, I'm not sure. No, those are the only times we've ever seen the White Rabbit being featured. And so, again, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. It came out at the same time these two pieces came out. We'll discuss that in a moment, because if you look at the base, it's very similar to these. And we're going to discuss these in a moment. But absolutely beautiful. Again, you're going to pay over, easily, if like you want this and someone is selling this, I would not ask for anything under $1,000 for this piece, because it's incredibly rare. I don't think there weren't even 1,000 of these ever produced. It's incredibly, incredibly rare. I think there's less than like 500 of these ever produced. I could be wrong. I don't know. If you do know that answer, comment below. But holy, holy grail. Well, we mentioned these, but before we go into these two, we have another one. I'll be right back. Haha. We have Pluto here, but we're not going to talk about Pluto now. Let's talk about these two beautiful, beautiful pieces. As you can see, their hands are holding, so they are made for their hands to hold. Out of all the pieces in my collection, I would say that these two are probably my biggest grails. There's a beautiful story to them, which I'll share with you as well. I thought I would never share this story until I did my... I'm going to do eventually an entire garden collection video. All my garden pieces, by the way, are all in boxes. Garden and Christmas are all in boxes because I'm still having to find a creative way to display those pieces. These are not. These I do have displayed. And let's go ahead and dive into the story of these. I mean, I don't know where to begin. I have always wanted these from the moment they were made and they were released. And they were released around, I like to say around 2008, 2009. They were garden exclusive pieces. And as you zoom in and you see the details, the base is probably one of my favorite bases ever because you see the three-dimensional flowers. Something so magnificent about this entire series was it was not the normal retailers of Enesco could not purchase these. Like they weren't really readily available. You had to be like a huge Jim Shore, and at the time Jim Shore wasn't as popular in many retail locations. Disney stores did not have these pieces either, and very, very few were made of these pieces. I would like to say that less than, if I had to take a guess of how many of these pieces were actually ever produced, I'd say close to 400 tops of each. And even that I think is giving it too much. I'd be saying it's giving it too much because it is incredibly rare to come across these. In my lifetime, since they've been released on the secondary market, I've never seen more than maybe 7 of them ever sold on the secondary market. And when they were there, they were selling them for like $1,000 each, trying to get rid of them. And they're big pieces, but they're not that big like this guy over here that would cost more in shipping. So they were going for a whole lot of money, and some of them for years stood up on eBay. I remember there was one that stood up there for almost like 2 years on sale and didn't move. Eventually someone was lucky enough to purchase them. I'm not sure if the price went down or whatnot. But these pieces I thought I would never get in my lifetime. Now, at the time I was much younger when these launched. I had was just in my first year of college again. Didn't have a job, was just a student. I couldn't afford them. I mean, the prices they were asking for these were like minimum. The cheapest I ever sold them for was like $500. And that was like when I first saw it launch on eBay, and never again for each one. I'm going to tell you the story in a moment, but how I allocated these. And I allocated these less than a year ago. And these two pieces I also are the only other two pieces in my collection that I don't have the original box to. And I'm totally neutral with it. I'm very anal. I get to have like the box of every piece, but I'm okay not having the box of these because it's nearly impossible to find them. She does have this watering can, which you can use as a planter to put dirt in. I am going to remove her from here, and then I'm going to dive into the Mickey piece. All right, we're back. So, and then we have the Mickey, which is the pair to the Minnie. They were each made in the exact same amount of runs, so not one is rarer than the other, and typically whenever sold, for the most part, they were usually always sold as a set together. They do come in 2 individual boxes, but most sellers in the secondary market would sell it together. Now, the one thing that was really difficult, why this piece was so difficult to come across, was only specialty shops were able to have these. So you had to be like some like floral shops, garden shops. They were the ones who had opportunities to purchase these pieces. Some shops that like would buy the entire Jim Shore line, from when he first launched his collection, and that were really retailers that were really a huge driving force for his business at the time when not many people knew who Jim Shore was, and or that he had a huge partnership with Disney. Those retailers were probably the ones that got dibs on these. And again, these are incredibly, incredibly, incredibly rare to come across. The quality on this is impeccable. If as you look at the details, I mean, it is uncanny. The condition of these are pristine. And the story around how I got this Mickey and Minnie is a beautiful one. It's so crazy, the power of like mindfulness and like putting out what it is that you're like declaring in the universe. And last year, it was in June, no, it was May of last year. I was sitting at my desk. I think I was watching like I don't know, I was watching some movie on my desk. And all of a sudden, I was just literally, I kept going back and forth on eBay looking for pieces. And last year, I completed the majority of my collection. And now like I said, I'm only missing 15 pieces. And I kept thinking of this piece, and I knew I was never going to find it. If I ever found it, it's probably going to be like on the Facebook Market app, you know. And so I would always be on Facebook Market app. And then one day, I literally go on my phone, and I literally open the Facebook Market app. And within 10 minutes of opening the Facebook Market app, someone in New Jersey, I live in New York, posted the pair for sale. They were selling Mickey and Minnie, the pair, for $250. I remember it was like torrential downpour that day, and I was like, I was so committed. I immediately contacted the seller and said, "Hi, I'm interested in these now." I live in New York. If these would have shown up in Florida, I would have drove down to Florida in a day and have picked these up, because they're priceless. They're absolutely priceless. And so I ran into my car, said, "Okay, I'll be there in 2 hours." Drove into Jersey. Got there. There was this beautiful couple. Opened their doors. They had both of them each in an individual box. They didn't have the original box, but I didn't care. I ended up giving her $350 for them. I gave her an extra $100. I said, she's like, the first thing she tells me, she's like, "These were my aunt's, and I know they're expensive, these pieces, because I tried looking them up and I don't see them anywhere. And I've been going to a few farmers markets and selling. My aunt passed away, and all of her trinkets and collectibles I've been selling, and these were the only 2 Jim Shore pieces she ever had. And she kept them at home. They are, when I tell you, the base is in pristine condition. It's absolutely impeccable. By the way, this piece's name is Green Thumb Mickey. And so she's like, my aunt passed away. She kept them at home. We don't have the boxes, but I've been carrying them with me at 3 different farmers events, trying to sell the pair together as a set, and I couldn't. So I went on Facebook Market app and I just posted, and you replied. I told her, did anyone else reply to their like? She's like, "No, I don't know how," but not even anyone contacted her. So I immediately said, "Can I pay you now or when I get there?" She said, No, you can pay me when I get there. So when I got there, you know, she told me the story of her aunt passing away. She hauled these at 3 farmers markets, trying to sell them, and no one even nibbled at them. Like, what? And the pair, it's not like it was one of them, it was the pair of them in impeccable condition. And she's like, "I know these are very special." And I told her I'm one of the biggest collectors of Jim Shore. And she's like, "Well, I'm so happy they're going to a home that's really going to appreciate them." And because, you know, she said her these were one of her aunt's centerpieces and favorite pieces in her collection of a bunch of stuff she collected. And I told her, I said, you know, this definitely will be in good hands. And she knew, she's like, "I know these are worth a lot more than $250, but I'm glad they're going to someone." And I gave her an extra $100. She did not want to take it. I said, no. I was like, "I think you know how much these are worth, and you don't understand, like, this is the happiest day of my life." And again, I thought I would never get these pieces ever, and to own them was just absolutely amazing. So, yay. And then in that collection, we have this beauty. He's also part of the garden collection. Now, this guy, I had. So this piece right here, I actually have in its original box. I purchased it on eBay. I purchased this at the time, I think, for like $250. He retails for about $900. He goes for some big money. I love this piece so much. The one thing I don't like about it is that Pluto's head is buried within the flowers, so you can't appreciate an actual portrait of him. But it is the largest Pluto ever made. It's absolutely beautiful. Recently, I've seen someone sell this piece, and this ear is damaged. I saw it somewhere in I think it's on eBay. I've seen it, and it's been difficult to sell. And the person's asking for like $750, $900, and no one's budging because the ear is damaged. Again, in my experience is that this Pluto is far rarer than, they made lesser of these Plutos than they did of the Mickey and Minnie. This one is rare. A lot of people don't acknowledge that. And again, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to get this piece. I've seen it sell for $900 most recently, and I think that's what you would pay for it. And it's more difficult to allocate versus the other two. So that's it right there. This piece, I don't think it does have a name. The name on this piece is Pluto's Scavenger Hunt. And let's keep you over here, as I'm very gentle. Now, y'all have seen my other video. I'm not going to put him on this pedestal. It's actually going on sale right now on eBay. I saw it recently this past week. He's going for $800. I told you that this piece is worth well over $1,000. I think someone already purchased it. If not, get into it. This is the largest piece ever made. One of the biggest pieces Jim has ever made. And here it is in its full glory. And this one is Magic is Everywhere, the Sorcerer Mickey. Again, I did previously, about 2 weeks ago, I filmed my video on every single Fantasia piece ever made. He definitely had to be on this list because he's amazing. We still have 3, 4, 5, 6 more pieces left. So the next piece we have is the 3 Fairies, A Dance for Dreamers. This is an LED light up, and it dances. This piece is going to cost you, just like the Cinderella piece, close to about $700, over $600. It is absolutely stunning. What I love is you have Merryweather and Flora. One side of her dress is pink, and as she rotates, you're going to see the other side is blue. It's the final scene in the movie as she's dancing with Prince Philip. It's just absolutely beautiful. What I love about this piece is you have the 3 fairies. It's on top watching. They have these delicate little wands, and in the secondary market you can find these, but many times the wands are missing or the wings are broken because it is a very fragile piece. What I love about this piece, it was also the first time Maleficent was featured, and though you're like, but where? In the back, right over here. It has this portrait of Maleficent. It also has the first time, the moment in which Aurora's in the garden, in the forest, dancing with all the animals, where she's moments away from encountering Prince Philip for the first time. And lastly, you have Love's True Kiss, the moment when he kisses her and wakes her up from the spell. It's a beautiful collection, a beautiful piece, sorry. It's one of my all-time, literally top 10 favorite pieces because the detail is just so amazing. Another beautiful piece, an incredibly rare villains piece. I would go as far to say as this is this is the most expensive villains piece. And Ursula almost made it on this list, almost. But Ursula is also, the first Ursula that ever came out is very much worthy of our top 20 as well. And this is Maleficent transformed as the dragon, and this is Maleficent and the Dragon. This is also a double-sided piece, which you'll experience in a moment. As you can see here, we have the dragon, and it is a light-up piece. Very just, I mean, you're like, where did it light up? The eyes light up. That's the only light-up feature. I wish the mouth lit up more. That would be cool. But I wish there was like a flame coming out and it also lit up like a green flame. But what I love about this piece, it has, you can see the castle from a distance, the dragon belly. It has the vines, the claws. I mean, it is such a beautiful piece. You know what I just noticed about this piece? She only has three, this hand only has 3 claws, and this hand has 4. That's odd. First time. And then as you rotate it, by the way, the base is so beautiful. You have the vines. As you rotate it, look who's back there. It's Maleficent. And it's moments from her about to transform into the dragon. Stunning, stunning, stunning piece. Absolutely beautiful piece. This piece, it's going to cost you, again, similar to these, close to $600-700 is what I've seen it go for recently. Not an easy piece to come around, and 1 or 2 at tops ever go on sale in the secondary market. The last piece on the table, but we still have a few more pieces, is, in my experience, the most expensive princess piece ever made. And this one is Dreams Do Come True. So at the time when this piece came out, it was a first time ever experiencing Tiana in a collection. It featured in his series, but she and Jasmine came out for the first time when they were standalone princesses, and these pieces would tell a story. He did these in the past, and he's actually redoing the princesses now in a larger, like 13-inch. It's going to be like a limited edition series that comes out. They're made of far better qualities, and they're going to have crystals and a lot of embellishments and details. Those launched this year. I believe Tiana's is launching in fall, which I'm really excited. The first one to launch is going to be Belle. But what I love about this is you do have the scene. It's her kissing the frog in her blue dress. And again, this piece is just, it's my favorite princess piece. Right after Belle, because Belle and Beast look beautiful, this is my favorite one to Tiana. Not because of its rarity, but because of the dress, the details of this dress. That it's like that lily pad dress. It's absolutely beautiful. The girth of this piece is huge. It is very hollow, so it's not a heavy piece. And this piece right here will cost you minimum $500. I've seen it for about $450, but minimum you're going to pay $500 for this piece. It is the rarest princess to collect as well. He just didn't produce that many of this one and or Jasmine. So that's it for what we have on the table. I will be right back. I'm going to put these back, and I'm going to show you our last 3 pieces. And we're back! Hi! I know. For many of you, this is probably the first time you're seeing any of these 3 pieces. It was a workout. Don't say I don't love you. Taking these out of their showcases was challenging as well. This one I actually unboxed because I still had it in my box, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put them. But without further ado, here you have it. Now, this piece. Where do we start? This piece's name is It's All About the Attitude. This piece is the first, I know I said Fantasia was, but I was wrong. This was actually the first ever large piece Jim Shore ever made. And it was this Grumpy. Now, he made him in a smaller size, which when I do Snow White's collection, you'll see it. But at the same time, he made it in a larger size. And this piece came out in 2016, the launching year of when he launched his collection. And if you notice, there's a lot of different details in this piece that you'll notice in some of the newer pieces. Like, First off, I've never seen this bright mint, like lime green color pastel base. It is the most stunning thing ever. It says Grumpy. But as we experience him, there is so much detail in the rose motifs all over his piece. Now I purchased this piece on eBay, and I purchased this piece. I think it was like I got it in 2012 in its original box, and I purchased it for like $225. Steal. This piece launched when it first launched. It was like $200, and I remember the first time I ever actually saw this piece was right before. This piece was one of the pieces that inspired me to start collecting. I was in Lake George, New York, upstate. And I was a kid. I was like a freshman in high school. And I remember we went to Lake George, and I saw these. They had this one piece in this Christmas shop on the strip, and I fell in love with the miniature Adobe piece, which eventually would be the first piece I ever purchased. But thinking, how would I ever be able to conceal something like this at home? Because if my parents found out I was collecting at the age of 15 and 16, like figurines, like they'd be like, do something better with your life. Pure judgment. If only they would know years later. And my mom now really appreciates this entire collection. But to be able to find this piece years later, 2006, and I bought it 2012, so I bought it 6 years later from its original launch, and to be able to find it for $225, $250 was an absolute steal. This piece is going to cost you minimum $1,400, $1,600. I think it's probably the most expensive Jim Shore piece, and or if not, like top 5 most expensive pieces. It is incredibly rare. I don't know how many of these they've ever made. The box I do have, I just don't have with me, and the box will say the quantity, what number this is. I personally don't know what it is. I never was mindful of looking at it, but very, very, very rare piece. So there you have it. And for many of you, this is probably the first time you're ever seeing it. Followed by him, we have this beauty, and this isn't a detachable piece, is it? No, it's not. Yeah, actually the base is. This is the one and only Mickey. Now, the base, he is detachable from the base, I think. Or is he not? No, he's not. It's just one piece. He's not detachable. This piece is incredibly rare. There is a newer Mickey and Minnie larger piece. They're not as rare as these that you see up here. But this piece came out right before that one. And again, a massive, massive piece. This piece retailed for $250 when it first launched. And now it's going to cost you some money. This piece will run you anywhere. I haven't seen it in a while, but if I had to guess how much this piece would run you, I would say about $750, $800, and mainly because of the shipping. So there you have it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. And the last piece is this bad boy. This, incredibly rare. I think it's the most expensive Christmas piece ever made. If you ask me, they have made this piece. Many of you probably own the smaller version of him. It does come with a tea light that lights up. It's artificial light up, and it's basically Mickey as Santa. Oh my God, this piece is massive and so heavy. Okay, I'm gonna hold it on this glass because I don't want this to tilt over. By the way, I bought a new dolly. I think that one would be better to use, but I'm gonna hold it right here. This piece is breathtaking. This is an incredibly difficult piece to come across. I have not seen it since when it first launched. I haven't seen it again I never saw it again on the secondary market. The first year and a half it launched, I would see it from time to time, but never again did I see it. Have I seen it again? It is like a porch piece, and so some people have purchased this and put it on their porch. Shame on you. This piece is going to cost you over $1,000 as well. It's incredibly rare. And I do have some other big pieces as well that I haven't featured from the holidays that were very much worthy of this top 20, but we'd be here all day. What's very special to me about this piece is when I purchased it, I got this from my local Hallmark store, and they were always amazing with me. They always took care of me. I would never pay tax, and I'd always get 20% off. But what's very special about this piece is that it's actually signed by Jim Shore. So I'm going to remove this off the dolly. Now, Jim Shore, I did not meet him for him to sign. I have met Jim Shore, by the way. I met him once. I met him 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, at a signing event in Pennsylvania when he released the Cinderella pieces, the signature Cinderella, which you'll see on my next video. And so this piece is signed by Jim Shore, and there you have it. Pretty kick-ass. It seems as if he signed it before it was released and sent out. Beautiful piece. And there you have it. That's my top 20 most expensive, and in my experience, rarest pieces Jim Shore's ever made. Now, many of you may have some other suggestions and honorable mentions. Comment below. Again, there is one piece in my experience that's definitely like top 5 worthy, but I don't own it. And so I wish when I do own it, I will do a special video featuring just that piece. It's my holiest grail. But aside from that, I appreciate you all for being here. And again, he has also made prototypes of certain pieces that are worth way more than these as well, because there's only like ever 10 or 5 or 2 or 1 ever made. But thank you for being here. If you love this video, make sure to share it. If you're a part of a Facebook Disney group, share it there. Let everyone know that you found me and I'm this hidden gem. Thank you. I really appreciate you all for being with us today. We will be doing next week the Cinderella, whole entire Cinderella collection. I'm excited about filming that one. It's going to be exhausting. I'm actually going to film it right after this. So yay me. But again, once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this space with us. And again, if there's any suggestions that you want to see, certain collections. Now look, I can't show you Christmas. I can't show you ornaments because they're all boxed up, and I can't show you any garden pieces. But anything else that you want to see an entire collection of, let me know and I will create the content. So just comment below and I'll create it for you. Take it easy, stay awesome, stay blessed, and I will catch you on the next one.